Hello and welcome back to configuring the MM-Tek topology. We're now on, I think, episode 5. So what we want to do today is look at a little bit more ASA configuration. We're not going deep yet, but we'll do just a little bit more ASA configuration on these other devices. So we configured the Germany ASA, and so the next thing we want to do is configure all of these others. What I have done is created notepad configurations for all these devices. And I wanted to show you really quickly what I did to make that happen. So let's go ahead and just for this example, I want to pick up an ASA and I'll move it over here. And we'll go ahead and start that. And then we'll console in. Okay, and so we'll go in and enable. Now, if we do a show run on this, you're going to notice that there's a lot of stuff here that we would actually be picking up if we were going to try to save this configuration the way we traditionally do with devices. And I want to highlight this all here. I go in and I take out all the stuff except for the stuff that I put in. So here's the America ASA, and this is the stuff that I actually put in last time. I copy that and I paste it into another location like this here, and then I go in and I change the IP addresses that are different. So if you have the one ASA configured, and if you have the same topology set up like I do, where I have everything in here like the 192.168.0, that's on every single one of these networks. The only difference, and actually the DMZ is going to be the same, so the only difference is actually this connection here. So if I change this outside interface here, the IP address on that, and then I change the static configuration of that DMZ host, and then I change the route outside next hop on that. So those three things are all I need to do to then have a configuration that I can paste down. And so we were on, let's see which device. Oh, we're on one that doesn't matter here. So so if I take this Japan ASA configuration here and I do my Control All and Control C to copy, and then I come back over here and I paste this down, then it will actually work. So that is one of the things that I'm going to go ahead and delete this device here because we really don't need it. And so I've done now all the configuration for all of the ASAs. And so the next thing that we want to do is start configuring our internal routers, and these are going to be configured as routers on a stick. And I want to do a couple of other things. So one of the things that you might have noticed in the configuration is that we do have servers that are located here on our topology. So if we go to one of these here, you'll see that there is a server hanging out for each of these. So really quickly what I want to do is go in and we're going to put in a couple of additional devices. So I want to put in Windows 7 machine here. Then I think I'll probably just do a server 2012 R2 for my Active Directory, and I'm going to set it here. And then we'll go ahead and hit the power on everything here. And probably we should go ahead and cable these in, and we'll go from here to this one, whatever is remaining and available there. Now that these devices are on, we can console in, and you'll see that Windows is going to start up here. And I'm going to minimize this here, and I'm going to do one more thing. Pull a Windows Server up here, pull a NetCloud up here, and you probably won't get that main server or the server selection thing. I have two virtual machines that I use, and I can load balance between the two of them. Now, I'm going to connect from this Windows server over to the NAT cloud, and I am going to, I'll hit the power up here again, and I'm going to go ahead and console into this one. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and we'll do next on here. Accept that. Control-Alt-Delete. Now what I'm doing here is checking my IP address here, and the reason I set this one up with the NAT here is this is one that I actually need to download software on. If you add something down here into your topology, you have to do the NAT, and then you have to be sure that your routing all works to get this out to the internet and back. So if you need something connected out, then the easiest thing there is to connect it to a NAT cloud, download the software that you need to download, disconnect it from the NAT cloud, drop it down, set your static IP address, and move forward with that. So let's go in and pull up a PowerShell. And you'll notice that this is getting a NATed address that should connect us out to the internet. And it does. So the reason I'm doing this is I want to download a Syslog server. Okay, so what I've done is I changed my Internet Explorer Enhanced Security Configuration to off. So if you click on this, you can change that back and forth between off and on. I requested a free version of the QE Syslog server. I downloaded it here to this machine. I can now extract this all. I'm going to hop back over to Server Manager. Okay, we'll go to Add Roles and Features. We'll do Next, Next, Next. And we need to have S. And we'll do the .NET 3.5 features. Next. Next. And install. Okay, so that took a little while, but we got that done now. Okay, so now we have our Syslog server running. Probably what we'll do here, I'll put the static IP address here. Place this I'll do this as 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this particular machine is this is going to be, and I'm going to bring this down here, and I'm going to use this machine to do some testing, and also, obviously, since I've set QE Syslog up here, I am planning to do some logging. G0.1 or G0/1. Should we do it too? Quickly as I did that. Well, we can't ping a device. One of the things we want to do is make sure that we turn the firewall off, because that's probably what the problem is here. And I need to have the firewall off on this one. This is an internal device, and I'm using it just as a Syslog server. Okay, so it is functioning. Okay, so now what we're going to do is do logging host n.20.20.2. And as I hit enter here, you want to watch up here in this area. And you'll notice that logging is initiated. Let's do logging trap. So let's do debugging. And I'm going to do end here. And so this little, where it says configured from console by console, is actually going to show up here in our new messages. And so if I go in here now and I do config T, for instance, actually let's do this. Let's do debug IP routing. And we're going to go into one of our interfaces here. Let's say something that we're not directly connected to. You're actually, when the routing updates, we don't actually probably even need to do anything here. So when we're doing this, you'll notice that all of this is being sent to the Syslog server. And what we want to do is we want to set up all of our devices so that they have a log somewhere. Now, we're using the free version of QE Syslog, and it will only do 5 devices. You know, one of the things we could do is we could put one server in each LAN segment, and then, you know, the devices that would be there should be fine. But it really doesn't matter for us. I think the Cisco devices will all sort of kind of come in as one different device, and we'll kind of see how that works as we go through. Now, obviously, we don't want the debugging running here, so what I'm going to do is come back down here to turn that off. And the command is undebug all. But if you look at the command here, we've got a number of different severity levels. So you could set it up to critical or alerts, and then like with debug, there's like so much information that unless you're really having an issue, that's way too much information. Okay, so let's do copy run start here, so that we save this to our configuration here. And I am going to sign out of this machine here. And then I'll just close the console window here. Okay, so just renamed the server logging server here, and I think that is where we'll stop this video. Before the next video, I will go in and I will add in additional servers to each one of these LAN segments, as I did here, and then we'll add in a Windows 7 PC. I think we'll do one in each of our VLANs. So every one of these colored boxes. And I don't know if I mentioned creating the colored boxes, but that's a pretty simple scenario. We go to the box and we will size it where we want it. We can go to style and make changes here, like we wanted to change the fill color, for instance. And then we apply that, and then do OK, and then we have to right click and lower it a layer to get it behind the stuff. And so once you get it behind there, you can't make any changes other than you can raise it a layer, make the changes that you need to change, and then lower it back. So I'm going to raise this one and okay, so I think that's it for now. Once we get these servers set up and the PC set up, then the next thing we want to work on is setting up our VLANs. And so we'll see you next time.